Security Watch Africa. On this channel and on this program, we give you that information you need to keep your life safe and secure. Wherever security is talked about, Security Watch Africa is sure to be there. Welcome to the program today. My name still remains Patrick Abambu. This, like you see, is a reminder that you must always put on your face mask whenever you are in public, for according to the rules set by the National Center for Disease Control in Nigeria and the World Health Organization globally in this fight against coronavirus. Welcome to our program. Today, you can see I'm in a very magnificent, behind me is a magnificent palace. Okay, let me just tell you where I am so that you'll be sure and not keep on guessing. I am in the palace of the Shehu of Boronu. Yes, in Maiduguri, Borno State. You can say it again. Security Watch Africa is always bringing that information to you. And I'm having a guest today. That guest is also a brother, a friend, a colleague, is everything. You have seen it all, and he will telling us more about Boronu and security and Boko Haram. You can't talk about Boronu State without talking about Boko Haram. I will unfold this guest to you, but sit back as we bring you this report from the Nigerian Air Force, talking about training and the causes of air mishaps. A seminar was organized where to be able to look at and dissect the causes of air mishap in Nigeria. Sit back as we bring you this report by Shuli Daniels.
Researchers and aviation experts have said that poor weather conditions are responsible for about 15% of aviation mishaps, aside from pilot inaccuracy and mechanical disappointment. Weathers like low cloud, fog, and rain may obstruct visibility, while thunderstorm can make it difficult for pilots to control aircraft once on air. It is against this backdrop that the Nigerian Air Force held an operations safety seminar with the theme Managing Diverse Weather Conditions for Safer Air Operations at the Headquarters Mobility Command of the Nigerian Air Force.
The idea of this particular seminar was conceived after the unfortunate fatal accident of 21st May 2021, which unfortunately claimed the lives of our colleagues, including the former Chief of Army Staff, and threw the entire nation into mourning. Considering the potential role that adverse weather may have played in the accident, it became necessary for us in Mobility Command to create a forum such as this, where we can draw from the knowledge and experiences of our senior pilots and experienced meteorologists, some of whom are retired, to educate our young pilots on the practical means of managing adverse weather to enhance safe flight operations in the Nigerian Air Force.
According to the International Civil Aviation Organization, risk means the combination of overall probability or frequency of occurrence of a harmful effect induced by a hazard and the severity of that effect. We could also perceive risk as a combination of the probability of occurrence of a perceived threat and the magnitude of its likely impact on missions.
The special guest of honor, Air Marshal Isaka Oladayo Amao, the Chief of the Air Staff, who was represented by the Managing Director of Nigerian Air Force Investment Company, Air Vice Marshal Emmanuel Wona, in his opening remarks states that the seminar is in line with the vision of the Chief of Air Staff of enhancing and sustaining critical air capability.
Seminars of this nature afford us opportunity to take stock and appraise our safety procedures for enhanced operational efficiency. It is also gratifying to note that the holding of this seminar is in line with my vision, enhancing and sustaining critical air power capability required for joint force employment in pursuit of national security imperatives. This is particularly geared towards updating the knowledge base of personnel, towards producing thoroughly skilled and professional airmen in fulfillment of one of the key drivers of my vision, which focuses on the pursuit of purposeful training and human capacity development.
He also noted that the seminar is focused on enhancement and safety in the conduct of air operation and will be an annual event across units and command.
Today's seminar is also specifically focused on the enhancement of safety in the conduct of air operations. The timing could not have been more appropriate, considering the recent unfortunate occurrences that have impinged on the flight safety records of the Nigerian Air Force. I'm personally enthused by the thematic focus of the seminar, which is managing adverse weather conditions for civil air operations in the Nigerian Air Force.
The Nigerian Air Force Authority have taken several steps, including plans to enlist 6 meteorological officers every year. Shirley Daniels, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. I told you that there is need for us to find out causes of air mishap, and it's good that the Nigerian Air Force is looking at that direction. Kudos to the leadership of the Nigerian Air Force for that. Yes, I also told you that I am having a guest with me today in this location. I'm talking about a man who, in terms of media and communication, he has seen it all, and he's still active because he's the Commissioner of Information and Culture, Borno State. My own brother, talking about Babakura Abba Jatau. Please, Honorable Commissioner, it's a pleasure to have you again. I'm sure that many people will be surprised to see you for a very long time. Yes. People who, this new generation media.
Most of them might not even know me.
We don't know you again.
By the time we started in Lagos back then, some of them are either in primary school or in secondary school.
Yeah. This is Babakura Abba Jatau, very popular in the media, and he's today the Commissioner of Information and Culture, Borno State Government. Yes, I'm in Borno State.
Yes, please.
A lot of people will say, what are you going to do in Borno State? There's a lot of insecurity and all that. Please, briefly, I know that you're a very objective person, and not because you speak for the state. Just tell us, how safe is Borno State?
Well, you have seen it all. Like Ronald Reagan once said that an oak tree, if you have seen one, you have seen it all. So by the time someone is living either in Lagos or in Port Harcourt or even in Kano here, and he tells his members of his family that he's coming to Borno State, Maiduguri in particular, the first thing that he will hear is that they will sound to him that, what are you going to do there? But the moment he ventures out of the city, either through flight or by the road, as he depths into Maiduguri, starting from Jimtilo, that's the inlet into Maiduguri, the first encounter that you have after Auno, you will now say, where is this thing? Are we really in Maiduguri or in Borno State? And then what are all these things that people are talking about? Maiduguri, as far as I'm concerned, is one of the safest cities in the country for now. This is the only city, and the city doesn't sleep. If you are in Maiduguri, that you will know. But for someone who is not living within Maiduguri, I think if you say Maiduguri, it's like you are taking him to the Gulag. But the main thing is that since the advent of the civilian JTF and expulsion of the Boko Haram insurgents in the city, that was around 2013, I think there was no major incidents in Maiduguri. All you have is some scores, and most of those security issues that are happening are within the surrounding of Maiduguri areas like Mole, on your way from Domboa, or sometimes, there are other outskirts.
Yeah.
Or if you are going to, let's say, Gamborungala, a border town with the Cameroon, so people, sometimes you have issues along those roads, like places like Algeria, like Mafa and all this. But the main thing is that because they are situated in Borno State, once the social media, spread that news, the idea that you will have is that, wow, they are at it again. But the moment you step into Maiduguri, you know that you are face to face with peace. In that note, I think we need to commend all arms of the security agency with no exception.
Yeah, I can testify to that because I see Borno State as a home to me. I'm always feeling relaxed anytime I come in here. It's so hospitable and so wonderful. I've gone far, Mungunu, Ngala that you mentioned. I've gone to Guzamalam and all those areas.
In Mungunu now, in Mungunu alone, you have over 250,000 IDPs. units, but you see, as at now, the state government has even closed most of the IDP camps that you have within Maiduguri. Houses have been allocated. Just last week, His Excellency, the Governor of Borno State, Professor Babagana Umar Azul, distributed 280 housing units in Muna to closed camps for the family to start living. In addition to that also, farming activities has also started picking up. For the last 2 months or so, we're talking about from the Ramadan period till date now, I think there was no major incidents that can scare anybody in terms of security that has occurred.
All right.
Even the dreaded the highway rovers that you have, they have considerably, dissolved into the thin air.
Okay.
Our prayers as a people in Borno State is that let us have peace all over the country.
All over the country.
So that life will be very easy, happy and jolly the way it used to be.
Okay. I'll get back to you. But viewers, if you are joining us, like I said, we are standing in front of the magnificent palace of the Shehu of Boronu, a man that I have met is a father figure because he's so passionate about peace and his people. But we'll come back to the interaction with him, but that will be after this report by Shekinah Chinkere on what is happening with the civil defense. Even right now, as we are in Borno State, Maiduguri precisely, civil defense is having a workshop to empower their men on issues of modern ways of tackling insecurity. But in Abuja, the Commandant General himself, Dr. Audi, had a lot of activities which Security Watch Africa was there to cover. Sit back as we bring in this report by Shekinah Chinkere.
It was a busy week at the Nigerian Security and Civil Defense Corps, NSCDC, as the Commandant General, Dr. Ahmed Abubakar Audi, marked his 100 days in office. The Commandant General, during his speech, said that the Corps under his command leadership is concentrated in rendering support to national security.
When I resume office, my immediate task and priority is to give the Corps a purposeful leadership and focus on the priorities of providing adequate security to lives and property in order to maintain national stability, peace, and togetherness.
He charged the civil defenders to give their best and adhere strictly to rules of engagement in their fight against criminal elements operating in any part of the nation.
My heart goes to all families whom have been directly or indirectly affected by the negative impact of this insurgency, which are orchestrated by some faceless criminal syndicates with the intention to destabilize the peaceful coexistence of the people as a nation.
During his maiden conference with zonal and state commandants from across the country, the NSCDC chief used the opportunity to remind officers of the focus and aims of the Corps. He also noted that for effective delivery of their mandate, the welfare of the staff must be paramount.
I have identified staff welfare as one of the major focus of this administration. This is really paramount if we must boost the morale of our staff to effectively deliver on our mandate. If this ship must sail successfully, we must ensure that staff are adequately motivated by fulfilling their rational expectations, which will in turn, as a psychological stimulant, to inspire them to put in their best to the service of the Corps and by extension, their fatherland.
Dr. Audi emphasized on training and the need for more equipment to enhance the capacity of its personnel.
We are therefore determined to develop and sufficiently equip the Corps personnel with relevant skill and knowledge to enhance their capacity to effectively deliver on the Corps mandate. As a positive step towards harnessing the potential inherent in our female personnel to effectively checkmate the upsurge in crime and criminality occasioned by kidnapping, banditry, attacks of critical national assets and infrastructure, etc., etc. I supervise the establishment of a civil defense female squad. It may interest you to note that the squad has been sufficiently trained to take up the challenges of securing our environment and to protect our children in various schools who have suddenly become targets of attack by bandits and kidnappers.
The high point of the event was the unveiling of the newly established female squad, rolling out of 11 operational vehicles, and also the groundbreaking of 200 housing units for junior and intermediate officers.
That is a lady for you. What a man can do, women can do better. What's the problem? Please don't be worried. The sound is here is to make everything real. Come up.
Shekina Chinkere, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. We are still on your program Security Watch Africa, only on this channel, the Africa Independent Television, and we are still here in front of the palace of the Shehu of Borno and in Maiduguri town. Yeah, my guest today is still my brother, my friend, everything, because we were so together all through so many years, making sure that right information is passed to the people. Babakura Abajatao, he is the Commissioner of Information and Culture of Borno State. It's a pleasure still having you again. But let me look. In my earlier visit to Borno, I interacted with some people, and I was talking to them, looking at the earlier stage, pre-2015, and now are there changes? And they were together say yes, that because now they feel more freer and they are going back to some of their communities. What do you say led to this, that people are a bit freer now than it used to be before?
You see, one is we have a very courageous person as a governor, Professor Babagana Umar Zulum. He's fearless, very courageous, incorruptible, transparent, and ready to deliver the service. The system and style of governance that Babagana Umar Zulum, introduced into how politics and government are being run is there for everyone in this country to see. Here is a governor that does not believe in staying in the comfort of the government house 24/7. There is never a day that passes His Excellency, the Executive Governor of Borno State, does not venture out of Maiduguri to either produce a commission or lay a foundation ceremony, or at the same time also distribute palliatives. So the state government has done so many things, and anybody who comes into Maiduguri, you don't need to be told that this government is working. You don't only see it, but you also feel it.
I feel it. All right. if I will allow you, I wish you would have enough time to be able to exhaust, but we're going to do a part 2 of this because there's so much to look into. Yeah. The standard of school structures, that will come back to you, but viewers, you can see that I'm at home with my brother, and we're still here in Maiduguri, Borno. Like he said, Borno State is safe. We're witnessing return to normalcy. A lot of activities are here where we are. Even you will marvel because this is a tourist attraction, you must say. But hold on there, don't go away, because we're going to bring to you another report from the police force headquarters in Abuja, where the IGP held a meeting with all his strategic commanders to look at better ways to be able to tackle insecurity nationwide. Sit back as we bring you this report by Elizabeth Tanko.
For efficiency and effectiveness, every organization will have to re-strategize and innovate. In his drive to move forward the Nigerian police force towards the fulfillment of its constitutional responsibilities, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Usman Alkali Baba, held a meeting with his management team, zonal and strategic commanders from the 36 states of Nigeria and the Federal Capital Territory. At the meeting, which was the second since his appointment, IGP began by commending officers for their sacrifices, zeal, and great stride in stabilizing the security order across the country.
I wish to start by commending all of you for your sacrifices and that of your personnel in the face of limited operational resources. I commend you also for the zeal and courage with which you have been leading your various commands and for the great strides that you have made in stabilizing the security order across the nation.
The IGP particularly praised his officers' outstanding display in high numbers of suspects arrested and exhibits recovered so far nationwide.
I'm glad to note that with your support, we have made significant progress in the attainment of our mandate, such that between April and May 2021, a total of 686 high-profile suspects have been arrested during various police operations across the country. The arrested suspects comprise mainly of bandits, kidnappers, and armed robbers. They also include the principal suspects involved in the attack on His Excellency the Governor Samuel Ortom on the 12th of March 2021.
He further spoke on anti-banditry, anti-separatist operation, and the recently launched Operation Restore Peace.
The police, in collaboration with the military, DSS, and other local communities, have successfully arrested 173 suspected bandits, while 68 others died during encounter with the police in the course of search and rescue operation within the past 2 months. In addition, 67 assorted firearms comprising of AK-47 rifles, pump-action guns, locally fabricated rifles, and other weapons were recovered from bandits within the same period. In relation to our anti-separatist operation in the southeast and parts of south-south, with the launch of Operation codenamed Operation Restore Peace in Enugu for the southeast operational theater on Tuesday, 18th May 2021, and in Port Harcourt for the south-south operational theater on Wednesday, 19th May 2021, we have enhanced our capacity to repel attacks by the secessionists, as well as to undertake proactive operations aimed at disrupting their destabilizing armed campaigns and with a view to restoring constitutional order.
Elizabeth Thanko, Security Watch Africa, Abuja.
Welcome back. Yeah, we're still here with you, and we're still in front of the Palace of the Shehu of Borno. I'm still with my brother, Babakura Abajato. It's a pleasure to have you. He's the Commissioner of Information and Culture, Borno State Government. Yes, you see, there's so many things to talk about, but this time we won't have enough time. I think we'll come to you and do more detailed interaction, maybe in your office, to look at what you've been doing. But if you was as well, we'll end this program. Can you tell us some of those things about Borno State, about how, at least those who are afraid, what can you tell them about coming here?
Well, what I can say is that Maiduguri as a city, for instance, where we are now, I think if you see the whole building, it is in a square form, and it is called the Dandal Way in Maiduguri. And the entire building that dotted this environment, they are made of red bricks. These are some of the buildings that, dates back to the colonial era. Yeah. And the government and people of Borno State saw it worthwhile to preserve it for posterity. Because these buildings are much more older than Bakura Abujato and any other colleague or peers of his.
Exactly.
Secondly, also, I think I will ask you to come here in the night. Let's say from 9 o'clock or 8, 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock. You will see the place where we are standing here is a football field. Constituted by what we call the mosquito teams. All these children that you are seeing seated here, they are footballers. In the night when you come, you will see them with their team. In fact, you have almost about 50 different football teams playing. Oh. And you also have an audience that's, surround them to watch the football being played out.
Okay.
And
we can see some of them over there too.
Yeah. This one that they are saying, they are reading the Al-Majiri schools, Quranic school. Okay. But even them, in the night, you will see them here in this arena, playing football. So that tells you that the security here is much more higher. I don't think if there is any city in Nigeria where you can go and you find almost about 20 different teams playing football at the same location.
I must say congratulations and thank you for being here with us. It's a pleasure. Yes, that was the Honorable Commissioner for Information and Culture for our new state government, Babakura Jatau. He's been a member. We have worked together closely, and I'm happy and proud of him, what he's doing here in this state. Sadly, we must leave other programs to continue until we come away again next week. I'll say thanks for staying tuned. Don't forget to watch the YouTube edition of this program. Is on YouTube for you to see, and it's streamed on Facebook for you to also watch. Until we come away again next week, I say bye for now and remain blessed.